So welcome to this webinar organized as part of the Circular Bricks activities. We're very happy to have here two invited speakers, Susanna Albertini from FVA. Susanna is a senior project manager of FVA and is involved in several European projects going from dealing with the bioeconomy transition. And Chiara Pocaterra from APRE, the Italian Agency for the Promotion of the European Research. She's head of the project department, and she's also involved in several projects related to bioeconomy and circular economy transition. We have a long-lasting relation and collaboration with both of them, and we are very happy to have them here today to discuss about the pedagogical aspects of this transition. So basically, the core idea of this Circular Bricks project is to develop tools and material for teachers for preparing their students for this transition. As you know, the transition is based will occur and will be accelerated by investing in research and innovation, of course, by investing in policy actions. But at the same time, one of the key pillars for this transition to take place is to create the skills that are needed and will be more and more needed in the new changing labor market. So this is the core idea of Circular Bricks, provide some tools for teachers for their job, everyday jobs in schools, mostly in the VAT schools now. And we are doing this by several steps. This is a 2-year project, and we have reached halfway of the project. So basically, in this first year, we have developed a pedagogical guide, which is structured in 3 main modules. The first one is precisely devoted to the circular bioeconomy as a novel sustainable model. The second module is dedicated to the generation of resources for teachers for the bioeconomy transition. And then we have a third module, which is more applied and is dedicated to design thinking. Along with these 3 modules, we have also developed a module 0, which is dedicated to the pedagogical aspects of teaching the bioeconomy. This is the reason why we have also here today with us Nadia Sansone, who is a researcher at Unitelma Sapienza and is involved as a researcher in this project, in the Circular Bricks project, with a specific developing specific tasks related precisely to the pedagogical aspects of teaching the bioeconomy. So in the first year, as I was saying, we have basically developed this pedagogical guide, which has been then uploaded on a Circular Bricks open access platform, which is part of our university website. In this platform, we have also included, along with the pedagogical guide, a set of video lessons, which are useful for providing teachers to the needed skill to use the pedagogical guide, as well as other toolkits and materials that can be valuable for teaching in schools the bioeconomy and preparing teachers for passing on the information. As I like to say, the teachers are basically our brokers in this process. They are the people that need to be trained in order to pass on this information to their students. So this is the general framework of what we've done so far, a brief recap of what we've done so far. And as I said, we have another year to go with this project. And now we are entering in the second phase, I would say, of Circular Bricks, which is in a way more applied and is actually, we can call this the testing phase, where we will be engaged in activities directly with students, with teachers and students, and we will see how the tools that we've developed, the pedagogical guide that we've developed, the video lesson that we've created for them, how they actually work in practice. And we will also be, the students and the teachers that will be participating to this testing phase will be also engaged in a testing, in a design thinking activity and peer review sessions, where they will be able and they will invited to develop their own ideas in a structured form, and then there will be a peer review process of these developed projects. So I will stop here, and I will pass on the floor to Nadia Sansone for a brief introduction of this pedagogical aspect that we have we've been very much happy to include in the pedagogical guide, and then we will move on with Susanna and then Chiara for their talks. So please, Nadia, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Pier Giuseppe, and hello to everyone listening to us. I hope you are many in the audience. And first of all, let me say that I'm very proud and also thankful that in a specific project about economy, circular bioeconomy, we had the intention to focus on students, teachers, and schools, because it's not so common nowadays from our governments and laws to bear in mind the importance, the cruciality of having the education transformed and revised if we want to really impact on future generations and on the global economy and society. So first of all, I think this is the very result, theoretical, conceptual, philosophical result of these kind of projects, and the very similar projects we are about to listen later. And in order to do so, we needed in the first year of the project, as Pier Giuseppe was saying, to fix some main, let's say, ground rules of our applying phase. That is to say, which are the pedagogical pillars, the theoretical frameworks that can be best suitable for our goals in order to develop teachers and students' skills for the next generation, for a sustainable economy and so on. So we needed to go back in some way to some never old theories about learning. And we decided to bear in mind three simple, framework. That is learning by doing, learning by interacting, and learning by creating. Obviously, we are not the authors and the fathers and mothers of these theories, but many important theorists and scholars such as Dewey, such as Scardamaglia, Berreiter, Vygotsky, and many others are the people we have to be thankful for being such innovators many decades and also in the last century. But unfortunately, their ideas are not so widespread in our school system. So in this project, Circular Bricks, we wanted to make them real, to pass them on teachers, on VET teachers, in order to have this kind of new pedagogical system applied in their schools, so making their students become entrepreneurs, become innovators, become critical thinkers about the role they are going to have in the future. So we needed to use some specific theoretical frameworks in our pedagogical guide too, as Pier Giuseppe was saying, in module 0. And we thought about two main frameworks, which are not exclusive and are not the only one that we can use in schools, but we thought about them as very suited for our case, that are the trialogical learning approach, which is a Finnish method that capitalizes all the previous theories about learning by doing, about mediating tools, technologies, and so on, and also the design thinking methodology, which will be at the core of the session that Pier Giuseppe was telling you about, the students as real creators of innovative ideas that later they will have to compare, to peer evaluate, to peer assess in order to, to choose the best one to improve, to really impact and improve their environments. So in the guide, which is already one of our results, the pedagogical guide, trialogical learning approach, and design thinking are very explained from a theoretical point of view. But as Pier Giuseppe was saying, we are now in a more applied phase of our project, both with the schools and also because we are just in the process of completing our toolbox platform. And this toolbox was just creating by actually involving our VET teachers, by actually asking them to co-create with us actual tools, procedures, environments, and the prototypes to be really used in schools. This is one of our main goals and mission in Circular Bricks, to have real teachers, real students involved in the project and co-participating with the academy, with the companies, and so on. So the toolbox is another important result, which is now ongoing, and that can be used by teachers and can be accessible in order to pick and choose the tools, the platform, the environments, the videos, the guides that teachers can actually use with their students, also to enhance design thinking methodologies and to involve their students with the main goal to develop, to solicitate, to facilitate their innovative and critical skills which are necessary in a circular bioeconomy. So I do hope that this kind of results that we are finalizing in this second year can be of real impact and use for our teachers and schools all around the European, area. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Nadia, for setting the frame of our pedagogical aspects associated with our project. So yeah, I mean, we are all aware that moving from a linear, fossil-intensive economy into a circular and bio-based economy is a much-needed achievement, and it's not that easy. And it requires, from the education perspective, several types of actions. So Circular Bricks has been developing this pedagogical guide, but there are other projects, as I was mentioning earlier, that have been doing similar things or complementary things in a way that are also very much needed. I recall, for example, that in a project managed by Susanna, and I think also Chiara was involved, you developed, and I was also part of it, a nice book for very young first year or second year, first grade or second grade school, for teaching them exactly what the bioeconomy is. So these are all actions that are needed. Exactly. That's. I don't know if people connected. Maybe you will show it later, because I don't know if they can see for people that are connected on YouTube. So anyway, yes, there are a plethora of possible avenues that can be followed in order to build on this new education. So Susanna, please, the floor is yours, and tell us about what you have been doing in order to further develop this pillar of the transition.
Okay, I'm not unmuted, so I hope you can hear me and you see my screen. I think everything is fine. And yes. Just to be precise, that the BioVoices was managed by Chiara, and we were one of the main partners where the book was developed. So here, what I will tell you today is a kind of buffet of ideas, basically, of different inspirational experiences that have been done through several projects, through a model that I will tell you about, that goes from BioWhat to BioHow to BioAct. And specifically, first of all, we need to understand that, as already Pier Giuseppe said, to promote the ecological transition, we need to involve the young generation, because they are the future citizens, and they should be aware and responsible in their consumption, lifestyle, but also disposal. And of course, they are
Susanna, I can't hear you. I don't know about
Yes.
others.
Yes, we cannot hear you anymore.
I don't know. Seems like the microphone muted itself alone.
Try now. Still can't hear you.
Susanna, prova a selezionarlo tramite l'attivazione e disattivazione dell'audio. Accanto hai il simbolino di una freccia che ti permette di selezionare il dispositivo del microfono. Prova a modificare quello dopo aver attaccato e staccato le cuffie.
Okay, Susanna, may I suggest that we move on with Chiara, and then we go back to your presentation while you try to sort this problem out. Okay, so Chiara, please. You also have to unmute yourself, Chiara.
Yes, sorry, yes. I shared so the screen, no, in the meantime that Susanna will, sorry. So it's a pity that, can you see the presentation?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay, so it's a pity that I have to intervene before Susanna, because Susanna was in our, let's say, agreement for the webinar, putting the scene. The methodological approach that we have used during the last 6 years in our activities about raising awareness and education on the bioeconomy, in the bioeconomy sector in particular. Thank you, Pier Giuseppe, for this kind invitation. As you said, I'm Chiara Pocaterra, head of the project department in APRE, the Agency for the Promotion of European Research. We are located in Rome. And now I'm leading this newly funded project under Horizon Europe, GenB, Generation Bioeconomy, involving all the young people from primary education, from primary school to high schools. With this project just started, because we started last November, and will close in the next 2 years and a half. With this project, we would like to, let's say, have a look around to all the educational product produced, designed during the years by several projects funded by the European Commission, and try to build with the co-creation activities, especially through Living Labs during the next month, new educational materials for young people, but especially for giving the teachers the possibility to teach bioeconomy in the classrooms. So this is just to let you know what we will do. But we have done, as I said, many things during the last few years, in particular with the project that I just closed last December, Transition to Bio, another project about awareness raising and education in the bioeconomy sector that I was coordinating. And you can find in the project website many of our products, and among them the toolkit for the teachers. We have produced several toolkits for different stakeholders, and the toolkit for the teachers try to give a series of videos, materials, documents, games, cards, in order to bring the bioeconomy in the school. The kit for teachers are for teachers for all the schools, not only for the primary school, even if in Italian, so in the we translated the toolkit for teachers with the focus for the primary education, because during transition to bio in Italy, in particular in Italy, we focused, me and Susanna, so the Italian partners, let's say, of the Transition to Bio project, we focused in particular on the primary school education. The toolkit, start trying to give the instrument to the teacher about the bioeconomy at large. So the meaning of bioeconomy, the basics of the bioeconomy, how to introduce the bioeconomy in the classroom, giving not the first, let's say, information about the keywords of the bioeconomy. So in order to give the teachers the keywords, the glossary, the terminology, because as in any kind of sector, you have to understand and you have to have the complete knowledge of the terminology of the sector. And so we are proposing in this toolkit links to the Joy Research Center, the Knowledge Center for Bioeconomy. They have produced several videos and other contents, but also from other projects like All Things Bio, that is giving a first introduction about the bioeconomy. In the toolkit, there are several, as I told you, links to different materials available. First of all, the Bloom School Boxes. It's boxes with several materials related to always to teaching resources for all ages, produced by another Horizon 2020 project that is Bloom, that it's a closed project, but that have produced valuable materials in the bioeconomy sector. There is also a booklet for introducing to students bio-based materials from the All Things Bio project. Educational cards created by BioVoices. Thanks to Transition to Bio, we have produced additional additional educational cards, in particular on bioplastics, but there is in another slide all the information and the links. The Bloom Bioeconomy Suitcase developing other informative material for kids, and the BioVoices book for kids. It's another valuable product that Susanna and me have produced during this BioVoices project, closed already 2 years ago in 2020, no, so or 2021, no, 2021. And it's another Horizon 2020 project that I led. During the pandemic, we decided together with Susanna to produce this book for kids that you cited, Pier Giuseppe, and other games produced during the last year. It's a memory game, and it's really nice. We already tested this game in the primary schools, so they can try to connect feedstock with bio-based products. And other books, the Farmer Harbert, it's an adventure book produced by All Things Bio project. So a few words about this book for kids, What's Bioeconomy, because I think it's a very valuable product. It was just, I want to underline this because it's really a novelty. A few days ago, I received the information from the Valorization Week of the European Commission that the book was accepted as a valuable product. So now it's among the best practices of the Valorization Week. You can find all the information about the book in the website. The event of the Valorization Week will be in middle of April, so in 1 month. The book presents the world of the bioeconomy to kids in 8 pages with 80 flaps to lift. We have translated the book in 12 languages, and now, thanks to GenB, we will produce additional language, European and also extra-European languages. The content of the book has been validated by 33 experts from industries and academia. We were supported by a professional illustrator, and something that it's really important is that we have printed 25,000 copies of the book, and we have distributed for free to many kids. And so there are 25,000 families around Europe that have read the book. I think it's a really great success in order to raise awareness on the bioeconomy. There is also the online version of the book, a launching video of the book produced with kids presenting the book. And we have 3 important testimonials. We have Roberta Metsola, the President of the European Parliament. Giorgio Parisi loved the book, the Nobel Prize for Physics. And also Pope received the Italian and Spanish version of the book last month from the hands of John Bell, the director of the Healthy Planet of the Directorate General of the Research and Innovation of the European Commission. So we know that it's a really a good product. So this is the online version of the book. But as I said, we produce games, educational games, but experiment leaflet. So you can download from Transition to Bio how to, let's say, produce the bioeconomy at home or in the classroom together with the teachers. Many educational cards in order to have a glossary and introduce in an easy way the keywords of the bioeconomy. These are the educational cards produced about the biodegradable plastic together with the Eurocop. And we have also recorded the training for teachers, the webinars that we have organized during the last year, so during 2022, for our webinars, so for the teachers, and they are online on the Transition to Bio project website. The toolkit contains the link to many other materials already available, workshop, quizzes, games, videos, online resources. So it's a very valuable product. As for the next, because it will be in few days, activity of Generation Bioeconomy, we are organizing a webinar for teachers for the primary and secondary schools on the 14th of March. It will be in Italian, because something that we have learned during the years is that if we want to speak with the teachers and if we want to speak with young people, we have to speak in the national languages. And so all the usually all the trainings, all the webinars are in the different national languages. So the next one will be the one in Italian on the 14th of March. We are starting this new adventure of GenB. There will be really plenty of activities with the schools, with the children. So stay tuned. and follow us in our social at BioVoices. And for any question, I'm always available. So I leave you the floor, Pier Giuseppe.
Thank you, Chiara. Thank you very much. It's impressive, the kind of things that you're doing and the passion that you put into it. It's really stimulating and, you know, giving an injection of trust in this transition. So I guess you are now in the pipeline. There is the sequel of the book. Like with Harry Potter, imagine. So may I suggest the title for the next book? What is the circular bioeconomy? So
we are thinking a lot, Pier Giuseppe. As you can imagine, together with Susanna, we were discussing about a second edition of the book because I really would like to do it. Also because in 1 year and a half, many things happened in the circular sustainable bioeconomy, many novelties. And so, yes, the book is really a good instrument. And after 1 year and a half, we saw that, no, Susanna, there will be no space for many additional new inputs. But let's see, we need to find a funder to do a new version, and especially also to print the book, because I have to say that when we printed the book 2 years ago in 2021, the cost before the war was €4 per book. Now, if we want to print the same quantity, the cost is more than double. It's almost €9 per book. And you can imagine that it's more difficult now to find an organization that can support us in printing the book. But we are always looking for, because the book is there, and we are always available to reprint for distributing it for free. So for me, this it's a must. But I think that I can speak also on behalf of Susanna about this. So the book was produced with the European funding, and for us it's really important to find somebody that can support us in reprinting, but for the distribution for free for kids.
Is there an open access? Is there an open access electronic version of the book?
Yes, yes, it was produced by FVA during transition to bio project, so you can read the book and access the book also online virtually. No, Susanna,
Yes. Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I came back.
Susanna, just one thing. I know that there are several people that are following us both on the YouTube channel as well as on the channel, on the platform of the project of Circular Bricks. So for those of you that are following us from YouTube or from the platform, feel free to type in your questions, and then we will have a 10-15 minutes time dedicated to a Q&A session. So I guess both Chiara and Susanna, and also myself and Nadia, of course, will be happy to answer any questions that comes from the audience. So Susanna, please, now you have solved the problems with your mic, so go ahead.
Yes, indeed. So I come back to my presentation. So I start where I was. So basically there are several, as you can see, you-founded projects that are kind of dealing with these topics and also Circular Bricks that I have to put in this image. And some of them are for lower education, some of them for higher education, for instance, like BioVec, but there are several in vocational training like BioGov and Engage for Bio. And many of these projects have been collected in this very nice source that is the LIFT fact sheet that you can find on the link I will give you in this presentation. And this model that I would like to share with you really show how we can go from inspiring the young generation to empower them and finally to help them to take a role to act in the transition through several steps that I will show you some examples of activities that have been done by all these projects that you can see around here. And so I go quickly from the first point, that is the inspire. because you really drive the change when someone has the light on. So basically through inspirational examples. And what you see in my back is the BioArt Gallery. That is this set of nice pictures representing feedstock with all the possible application in the bioeconomy and the bio-based economy. And we have 26 roll-ups. And even in that case, those roll-ups can be printed. So if you want to print by yourself, there are several linguistic versions, is in English and Italian, but also other linguistic versions. So you can really just contact us and download by yourself and use wherever you want to use. And then we have this exhibition of 350 bio-based products. This is a little bit more tricky to be shared because it's a physical exhibition and is one of the biggest exhibitions nowadays in the world. But if we want to really inspire the citizen of tomorrow, we have to help them to put their hands on the bioeconomy. And this is what we do. Chiara already mentioned you some examples, but all these examples has been tested with a really wide number of teachers from high school, as you can see here, but also really little ones from elementary, but also even younger. Consider that last year we did was a contest, and the little ones from elementary school participated with a kind of training for the very little ones. So they were training the little ones, and this was very nice and effective. We also did several activities, as you can see, during the pandemic online. And it is also nice because if you organize yourself with the teachers, they have the materials they need and they can do the experiments while you are connected, and they do the experiments online. So this is also something really doable and effective. But of course, Maker Faire, Researchers Night, many big events in which you can do the experiential learning. And still to inspire, when we go to the students that are, for instance, for high school, you really need to tell them stories. So stories from researchers, startup, industries, but also school projects like the one that I mentioned. So here you can see the little ones with our t-shirt, but also study visits. So in collaboration with Biorefineries, we bring the students, or in collaboration here with the Lazio region, we are organizing every year the Bioeconomy Prize for the Startup per School Academy. So the kids have to invent a bio-based product and we award the best ones. But also interviews to startuppers, to researchers, or to industries, to really understand that there is a different way to do things and the students can be part of this change. So again, for the very little ones, you have already seen the book. So here there is a picture, but I want to show you a little bit. I know that online is not easy, but it's very nice to see how it is, even through a camera. It is really colorful and appreciated by the kids. But we also have several games. All these games have been designed with game designers and also pedagogists, and so they are really effective to engage and to stimulate the young students within the bioeconomy by playing. And of course, when you go to other, let's say, to older students, you need to engage them speaking in different languages, and therefore quizzes, social media activities, educational cards, and videos. And here, the Lo Sai Che is a nice experiment that we did with famous people in TV. And here is a kind of intergenerational debate between mother and daughter, in which they kind of say, do you know, and one try to be the best compared to the other, and knowing a lot of curiosities and novelty about the bioeconomy. Other things have already been presented by Chiara, but there are many games using Miro, using Mentimeter. So really a plethora of examples that we are very happy to share, and of course to make available for free. And for the teachers and multipliers that are one of our main target in GEMB, but also they were in transition to bio, because it is very important to reach them and to make sure that they are the ones getting in contact with their students, because they have the trust, they are already teaching them, and therefore here there are some examples of school projects. We also created this Inside the Bioeconomy set that was given to two pilot schools in Italy. And here, since you were mentioning Nadia, I printed an example of a design thinking game that we did with the students in high school. And several toolkits like the ones that already Chiara mentioned, so I don't want to go into details, but here you can see how they look, not only words, but really images. This, for instance, is the video of the young lady that from the wake up in the morning up to the night, she's just using for the entire day, work with the friends, just using bio-based products. So there is a new way to live an entire day being sustainable. And the last, let's say, dimension is the co-creation, because it is important to co-create new formats that are shared and are really interesting for everybody. So we would like also to collect all the voices. Here you can see the wall where the students were able to put their sticky notes and to share their ideas about their sustainable future, but also the little ones here, and also different level of students that we involved in developing new ideas using creative methods. When we want to help them to take a role, first of all, we need to equip them with the knowledge. And this is a strong pillar in the GEMB project, because we really equip them with knowledge, tools, videos, materials that they are ready to use. And we are also working, for instance, with the Bioeconomy Youth Ambassadors that have been entitled by the European Commission, and they will be the voice of the young people. So we also work with this association. So if you are an influencer or an activist or an ambassador and you want to become part of our ambassadors, we have a lot of services ready for you. And this also applies to the teachers. We have a set of activities that we can really make available and support you. So here you can see students on stage explaining the bioeconomy to policymakers like this one, to other students, and also to their teachers. So these are some of the projects in which my company personally is involved in. The majority of them we are together with Chiara. In some of them we are together with also Unitelma, like Sustrax. So as you can see, it's a big community, and we try always to share our ideas, because we believe that sharing the idea is something that really can increase the knowledge and maximize the impact and effect. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Susanna. Thank you very much. Yes, the picture is clear now. I mean, there is a lot of activities going on. A lot of work has been done, and there is a lot of activities still going on, and this is very valuable and useful, I think. I don't know if we have any question from the audience. You can send me, if there is any question, please send them to me. Okay, so we still haven't got any question from the audience, which can basically means that you were exhaustive and very clear in your presentations. But yes, maybe I would like to make a question to you both. I mean, I've seen that most of the activities that you have been doing are concentrated to training, basically, to providing skills for the youngest. I think that this is a very cornerstone for this educational challenge for the transition. How do you see the link between this step that you are working on so actively, and then let's say pushing these young people to enroll in academic schools, courses, and academic careers that are related to the bioeconomy. Who would like to have a go?
Chiara, do you want to start?
Yes, I can start. So it's as I told you, it's really important to first of all to speak the national language, because why I start from here, because we see a lot of the difference now, since we are working in European projects. As you know, there are at European level the European activities, and everything should be done in English. But then what is asked is that the partners perform the activities also at the national level and test the activities as a piloting of the, let's say, the European methodology at the local level. So what we saw is usually that at European level, it's really difficult to engage teachers. And usually the training in English, we have very few, let's say, followers. But at the national level, as Susanna also said, we reached many teachers, almost 1,000 of teachers in 2 years. And this is due to the fact that we give for free information, training, support. And I have to add that for primary teachers, we also promised the book for kids for free for all the kids. And this was really helpful in attracting and involving the teachers, because after 2-3 hours maximum of webinar, they were engaged, because at the end of the webinar we always received a very good feedback from the teachers. So the training is interesting. We gave the keywords, we gave a suggestion on what kind of material they can use in the schools. But also, and I have to say that is a plus, we are sending a box with 25 books for kids for free, so they can distribute the book to the kids. And this is not that plus that incentivize the teachers to follow the training, because then they come back to the classroom, to their students, with some materials also. So 2 things. Knowledge and also a supporting material, real supporting material. I don't know, Susanna, if you
Yes,
agree.
maybe I can add something specifically to the question of how to really make sure that once you have inspired them, they will really start to think in their future in the bioeconomy or the bio-based economy. Of course, if we talk about the bioeconomy, there are a plethora of new jobs, and therefore new careers, new study careers. So let's imagine, for instance, a farmer that can be a circular farmer. So he can really start how to think about his work in the context of protecting the soil, in the context of really use all the residues to do something circular. And of course, from the farmer, we can go to the people that are working in the sea, for instance, the blue bioeconomy, or we can go to the the technologists, so the biotechnologists. We have a really large number of people that can be part of this new economy. And to really make sure that we are able to inspire them, we prepared some dedicated modules in our capacity building, both for the little ones, in which we use the images of the book. To make an example, we have, I don't know, the farmer, you can see. So we have the little images in which there are the farmers, or there are the fishermen, to make an example. So we have all these images so they can really understand and see something that is also nice to see. But we also have, of course, the same version for high school or for even students that are already in the academic pathway, but maybe they can be attracted for the latest, let's say, modules into something like that. And so we have this videos presentation really to showcase what is the daily activity if you are a biotechnologist, what you do, what type of studies. And we did several interviews with people that are young people, of course, because we don't want to be far. So young people that are already working, and they can simply go have a glance a little bit 2 or 3 years ago and to say to the other ones, okay, I did like that and this worked, this didn't work. So this is how we do it. I don't know if this was what you were asking, Pier Giuseppe.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Very comprehensive answers. So we have a question from the audience. Elena Lukashevich is asking, which activities, in your opinion, are more relevant for engaging the audience, children and or adults, and not too much theoretical?
For sure that the showcase of samples is super effective. So we as you have seen by the pictures, we have these exhibitions in which there is a theoretical part that is represented by these roll-ups or images, and then they have all the materials. For the materials, we also did several videos. So all this explanation of application for many fields. So from textile, from fashion, food, building and construction, gardening, whatever. To make you an example of how practical can be, we have this little book that is done by the poo of the animals. And this is one thing that is always super appreciated, and typically is very funny because when they take it, the first thing they do is to put their nose in to understand, to really touch and also smell what the bioeconomy is. So our recommendation is really make it touchable, make it real. And of course, when you do an exhibition, try to not bring only examples from the research, but rather buy the things that are already in the market. So you can really say, okay, this cost €1, this cost €5, and to make comparison with the fossil-based examples. And this is very effective because nowadays, 5 years ago, there was a big gap, a premium price, but now it's nearly similar. So you can really claim it.
Yeah.
I can only add that experiments are really useful because children can really use their hands and discover bioeconomy. So they are appreciated different experiment, but especially I remember last year when we went in a school to pilot a way to teach the bioeconomy. We experimented how to produce bioplastic from milk, and it was really amazing for the kids. So this is really engaging.
Yeah. I mean, this whole idea of hands-on is a key buzzword for for engaging young students, young people to the bioeconomy. If I may add something about how to engage adults and more grown-up people, from my experience, I think that it's important to deliver the message, which me being a researcher, a scientist, I think that it's pretty much grounded in sound research. So it's important to deliver the message that the transition is going to impact our daily life in a positive way. So the whole narrative about degrowth it should be delivered in a way that is showing us that it's not about, we might in a way reduce our GDP, but it doesn't mean that we reduce our well-being. So this whole idea, I think this is the message that we need to deliver. So we are going to have a transition that will increase our well-being and must increase our well-being and increase the well-being of future generations. And this is something that this is not, we should not deliver the message that this transition is going to be a painful transition. And I think, as I said, from from ongoing research, I think that this is a statement that we can make if we agree on the concept of well-being, of course. So, okay.
Also, Pier Giuseppe, just a quick. Even in communication, we don't have to use negative messages like we don't have any more time, the world, I mean, the climate change is negative, because now we need really to, as you said, exploit and show the positive side of everything. So not the negative, but the positive.
I absolutely agree on that. Okay, so I think that we can close it here. Just let me remind to the audience that there are another couple of webinars organized as part of the Circular Bricks project. One will be held on the 28th of April at 9:20 Central European Time, and then the other one, the third one actually, it will be on the 11th of May at 3 p.m. Central European Time. You will find all the information on the Circular Bricks website. So as I used to say, stay tuned and see you soon. Thank you very much to you both, Chiara and Susanna, and also, of course, thank you to Nadia for her help on this project. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.